Welcome to America's Top Rebbetzins. In the merit of this class, may Hashem watch over all the Jewish people and give enormous strength to all the IDF soldiers, including Eliezer Raphael ben Emuna, Levi Yitzhak ben Yedida Malka, Lidor ben Batsheva, and Lior ben Sima. Please click on the subscribe button to subscribe to us on the America's Top Rebbetzins YouTube page, or click follow to follow us on your podcasting app so that you are the first to know when an inspiring new episode is posted. Today, I am so excited to welcome back to our podcast Rebbetzin Chana Margulies. Rebbetzin Chana was raised on an organic farm in Canada, and she now lives in the mystical city of Tzfat, Israel, with her husband, Rabbi Ariel Margulies. Rebbetzin Chana is the co-founder of Geula Wives, a nonprofit organization that helps women live the marriages of their dreams through her affordable online program called the Geula Wives Circle, which is only $40 a month, and it has weekly group classes, coaching, and workshops. And Rebbetzin Chana offers individual coaching too. You can access all of this as well as her free core skills course on geulawives.com. That's spelled GEULAWIVES, geulawives.org. If you need a scholarship for any of the above courses or programs, do not hesitate to reach out via the website. Rebbetzin Chana is a prolific writer, and she recently launched her brand new book titled Start with the Good Part, a novel to live your dreams. I have personally read the book, and I can tell you this is not your typical novel. It literally illustrates for you how to live in Geula. Geula is redemption, how to live in Geula right now. I mean, it shows you how to create a life of peace, connection, and freedom literally right now. So by the time you reach the last chapter, you won't just have read a book, you'll have discovered life-changing tools to step into your own freedom, to ask yourself powerful questions, and to choose freedom over fear. So I'm so excited to talk to her about this book and these life-changing concepts today. This is going to be a really good episode. So thank you so much, Rebbetzin Chana, for being here. Before we start, please tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. It's so great to be back in your presence. And it's just fun for me being called Rebbetzin because the only one who calls me Rebbetzin is you and the yeshiva boys we have for Shabbos dinner. So it's just so fun. Well, I guess today was a pretty typical day in the life. It's Yatis Kislev, so lots of Farbrengens and learning of Chassidus. It's like a kind of nice rainy day. It was the perfect kind of day for reading and writing. And yeah, most of my life is involved in Zooms. This is my happy place. Zooms of coach training, of training coaches and one-on-one coaching, and just being there with other women in this journey of supporting each other to live free, happy, whole lives. I'm very blessed to do all of my shluchas mostly from home, which is um, in the mountains of Sfat. I really am grateful for all of that. And my husband just came home from yeshiva. This is like a really typical day in the life that shares.
That's so beautiful. I love that. It sounds so exciting. And I really, really like, I'm genuinely excited to talk about this book because I read it.
So
There it is.
happy you read it.
Yes. Can you hold it up again for those of us who are watching on
Sure.
YouTube? She's
I
holding up her
think
book.
I think the Amazon copies are a little bit bigger because everything in America is bigger. These are the Israeli copies. But
So
I'm so
cute.
grateful to finally be hugging my book. I just got my copy last week.
Oh, beautiful. And it really is something. I'm so excited. So let us dive right in because this is really, it's not just a novel. Like this is soulful, meaningful stuff. You know, the concept that you presented and the questions that you had the readers pose to themselves through the characters in the book, this really struck me very deep in my core. I mean, it was like you were teaching me how to access basic fundamental truths about myself so that I can uncover who I am beneath my surface layer and start living authentically instead of living in people pleasing mode, in just get it done mode, in management mode, just like authentically who I am as a person. This is not simply a book, it's a manual for life. And I really, really feel that. So for those of you who have, you know, those are the listeners who have not read your book yet, could you please explain the premise behind the book and exactly what the book is meant to teach us?
Hey, thank you. So happy you enjoyed it. And I
Yes,
love what you just touched on, which is really the essence of the book, which is about living from our essence.
yes.
And I think that's just where we're at in history. Like life, Hashem is demanding from us, okay, wrong word demanding, inviting us, everyone individually, to really be who we are, to me, to be our most authentic, beautiful, radiant self. And honestly, this invitation usually comes from the test that we each face, and each in our own lives, and each in their own, inner soul's whisper between them and Hashem. The Kodesh Kadoshim and the Beis Hamikdash, the holies of holies, is that place where only the Kohen Gadol, and Hashem, the high priest and Hashem, could be on Yom Kippur. We know in the times of Mashiach that actually every Jew is going to have that Kodesh Kadoshim, essence to essence, face to face relationship with God. And so within these tests that are so personal and so real and so much in our mind, in our heart, in our body, in our own inner world, that we're being invited to go to our essence. And so for me, this book is really about taking these tools of living Geula, living free, living redemption, living with Hashem. Not that there's a big Hashem and there's a little me, but no, like stepping into this really this marriage relationship with Hashem, that we've been on this journey of the Jewish people, right? Our engagement with Hashem is the heart is Har Sinai, right? Our every mitzvah is a ring on our finger, every mitzvah is a chuppah, like we're in this romance, and the ultimate love story is getting to this marriage with Hashem and being able to deepen into this intimacy. And at the same time, life can feel so real. And it can be like, oh, is Hashem punishing me? Like, what's happening here? And being able to have those inner tools of that inner voice to say, oh no, this is Hashem whispering to my heart, that there's an invitation to even be more free, to even shine a little bit brighter, for life to even be easier. And so for me, these characters who honestly Hashem wrote, like I don't even know who these fun people are, but I'm obsessed with them in this novel, are just the goal is to show these different layers and angles within different people's minds and hearts so that everyone can find themselves in a different character or not, or be able to see it just kind of from the glance of just reading a fun novel and then hearing themselves ask themselves those questions or wonder what Abigail, who's our main character, might have to say about this or that.
It's fascinating because what we learn about the character Abigail, who is the main character, who's kind of guiding the other characters on their path, we find out like in the middle of the book that she went through her own transformation, and it was a major one. Also, I don't want to give away spoilers from the book, but it brings out the point that in order for us to teach others, we have to first go through our own tests. We have to have our own growth and our own experience. You can't teach people what you don't know. If you haven't gone through it, you don't have the experience to teach it. It's not a bad thing. It just is. That's why some of our wisest teachers, our elders who have been through life, who have been through so much, through so much pain in all areas of life, like they're the ones who we can glean the most wisdom from. And I was wondering if maybe you can just touch upon the characters and because we can learn something from each of the characters, just some a piece of growth from each of them.
Oh, from the characters? Oh,
Yes.
that's so fun.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I just have to tell you that I was crying once while writing, and my husband's like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "You won't believe what happened." He's like, "To the character that you just wrote?" I'm like, "I didn't just write her. This is what happens." So like I'm very it's fun to talk with them. I don't know how to talk about them in this context, but um I think what I could say that I think each character offers, and I think every human being offers, is the depth of our relationship with Hashem. I
Yes.
really do feel like you're saying, like from the school of hard knocks is usually how we help other people. It's through our own tests that we get to be a miracle, right? Test and miracle in Hebrew, Nisayon and Nace, it's the same word. That we get to offer that light of a miracle to ourselves and others. And I do really think that we each get to really, I honestly think the only thing I can ever really give another person is the depth of my relationship with Hashem. Where
Yes.
I really know Hashem loves me, that's where I can offer that love to another person. Where I really know Hashem has compassion on me in my hardest, most frail moments, or even most confusing moments, that Hashem's there, I can offer that to another person, whether that's through, verbally or whether that's just energetic. And I feel like each of the characters give a permission in our relationship with Hashem through the tests that they go through. And honestly, through every person, like we really know we can learn from every person because their relationship with Hashem is unique. Is their unique, lover's dance, is their unique romance with Hashem. And therefore there's something special in everyone's relationship with Hashem that we get to learn from when we enter their inner world. But so often we don't know about other people's inner worlds.
Of course.
So it's fun to just kind of get into the character's world and get to see.
Which, and I found that so fascinating because like I want to bring in like this is reality. Like the characters as you wrote them were real people. These were not just like mystical, fluffy people up on a cloud where everybody's life is perfect. And that's what I'm used to reading about in novels. These are people like okay, they're not real people. They're fictional characters, but what they go through and the way that you wrote it and the way that you presented it is so real. Like for example, I really want to give people a concrete example because I feel like everybody is going through at least one of the things that these characters are going through, if not multiple things at once for multiple characters. We have, for example, Dina, the character Dina, she's struggling with infertility and she's gotten treatment after treatment after treatment and gone through miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. I mean, we are talking about multiple miscarriages. And throughout the book, like you see her growth in the way that she handles the way that the miscarriages come about. She goes from being completely hopeless to being empowered, even though she's going through this really, really difficult test where all she really, really wants is a child, and she doesn't have one. It's not a novel where everybody lives happily ever after. It really, really isn't. It's one where people have to work through their pain and grow. And I think infertility is a topic that really, really people are struggling genuinely. And also, I think it was Hava, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Hava really wants to get married. And she has been dating and dating and dating and dating and dating. I can't even tell you how many years she's been dating, and she hasn't found the right person. I think so
Right.
many. Yeah, I think so many people can relate to that. Like, where's my soulmate? Where's my Mr. Right? What am I doing wrong? And it really talks about her struggle and everything that she goes through in that. And then you have Eliza, who was really, she grew up without money and she watched her father feel so guilty that he couldn't provide for the family. And from that, she learned that she is going to be a millionaire. And that's all she wants to do. She wants to be a workaholic and a millionaire. And somewhere along the line, through this process, this growth process that she's going through, she learns that, wait a minute, it's really not the money that I'm after. It's really not the financial security that I'm after. It's the emotional safety that I'm after. And that's such a growth process because if you read the book, like this is like a corporate New York businesswoman. And I know not all of the listeners and readers are from New York, but this is somebody who's like wants to be like the top of the top in a company. Like this is Miss Corporate USA over here. And it really she really evolves in the way that she views money and in the way that she views her role in the workforce. It's very, very interesting. And Simcha, which is so interesting because she's your youngest character. I believe she's 18 years old, and she has no idea what she wants to do. Like you see my lack of words here. That's kind of how she feels. She doesn't feel like she's good at anything. She doesn't feel like she's worth anything. She like tries to hurt herself, and she really comes to learn that she can benefit so many other people by who she is. And you just give so many beautiful examples of how she does that in the book, and you go through her own personal growth journey where she almost feels safe in the chaos of not knowing who she is. And then she has a transformation where all of a sudden love is coming to her and support is coming to her. And she doesn't even know how to handle it, which I think is so profound because, when you're going through so much stuff, all you want is love and then you get it and then you just don't know what to do with it. I just think you hit the nail so on the head, I think specifically with that character. So I just really want to bring those to the forefront and just tell people out there that these are very relatable characters.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful how real they are for you.
Yes.
And I do want to tell you that Abigail is based off of a real woman who passed away in our community. After she
Oh,
passed away, I got the inspiration to write this book, which really felt like it just came from Hashem. And I didn't know who I was writing about. And after a few months, I learned more about this woman, Abigail, who had been in our community. And I realized, oh, this personality, this I'm going to help everyone, no matter what it
yes.
takes. This I'm giving for fun and for free. I'm here for everyone's Geula process. I'm here with my people. That energy of like, I'm walking with other women to the base of Mikdash, like in their personal lives, like that was her energy. So she is someone that I really have met, of course, fictionalized in this way.
Of course. And Abigail is the most powerful because as we mentioned earlier, she is the main character and she's kind of guiding the others on their own journey. But I mean, what she went through, I don't know how it was in real life, but in the book, like talk about struggles people have. She lost her daughter to a narcotics overdose. So here, I know a lot of people are struggling with loved ones who have addictions of all different types. And here is a main character in the book who lost her daughter through a narcotics overdose. And just the way that she overcame that. I was reading that part last night. I'm not even gonna lie. I started crying, like with real tears. Like, and I'm not gonna cry now, but it was just like a very, very powerful, though, just the way that you described it. Um, But I want to ask you something that actually came up for me while I was reading it. I think this is very important. You have a chapter called It's Not About You. And here we are. Like I was just telling you about each of the women, and it's like it was all about them in my description. But here was this chapter that you had. Like, it's not about you. Can you talk a little bit about this concept? Like, it's not about you?
With pleasure. So this idea of it's not about me is really that the greatness that Hashem's put inside of all of us. Like it's not about us to like it's not arrogant to shine our light because it's not even about us. Like there's something greater flowing through us when we allow it, whether that be through our art or through our food or through our speech or through our nurturing or through our presence, like everyone to their own strengths and art form in life. But the idea of like getting out of our own way of being afraid to shine because it's not even about me. Like this isn't even about me. Like did I want to put out another book? Like I don't know. This isn't even about me. It's like getting out of my own way to allow the creativity to flow because Hashem is the ultimate creator and we're made in his image and so much comes through us on a daily basis. Like, am I loving too much? This, that, like all these calculations we have, like allow the divine flow that wants to pulse through us to pulse and allow ourselves to be awkward and say hi to a stranger and offer more love that might be socially appropriate to someone we don't know. Like getting out of our own way because we're on a mission from God. Like and Hashem is partnering with us in this mission. And so sometimes our light can feel scary. And realizing, oh, it's not even my own light. So I don't have to hold it and I don't have to control it. I don't even need to master my art. I just need to show up. And I think that it's actually a famous story of this, about this, the fear of arrogance. So the Mittler Rebbe, the second Rebbe of Chabad, shares an anecdote that at first, everyone knew who the snake was. Okay, there's a snake in the Garden of Eden. And then everyone's like, okay, we know who the snake guy is. We're not falling for that again. So then he became, I think it was the Malach HaMavas, like the angel of death. Okay, then we're like, we know who this guy is. We're not falling for that. Then it became the Yetzer Hara. We're like, we know who the Yetzer Hara is. And then it became arrogance. And everyone's like, okay, now we're not going to be arrogant. We know who that is. And then it became the fear of arrogance. And that's where we're at now. There's such a fear to shine, such a fear to be bright, such a imposter syndrome of, what do you mean this person could do it 10 times better than I can do it? Like, let me get out of the way and let someone else do what they need to do here. Like, realizing, the fear of arrogance. And someone actually, I think, wrote to one of the Rebbeim about how they were doing all the social activism and it was getting to their head. They were like, oh, I'm good at this thing. And the response was, even if an onion becomes of you, do your mission. Like, who cares if you're arrogant? So what? Like, you're not going to be arrogant? Okay, well, be a little arrogant. Like, don't be so afraid of the traits that Hashem put inside of you. Like, we don't need to be so obsessed with the negativity. Just shine your light, and that will overpower like whatever else might be going on in there. Which is just really this approach of like asay tov, like do good, and like the rest is it's gonna sort itself out.
That's so beautiful. I really that, and actually, you bring up a really good point because I was going to ask you, as people go through their growth journey and kind of discover who they are and like who they are authentically, like we were talking about in the beginning, a lot of times that could feel scary. Like, oh my God, I have whatever trait I have, and that you discover, you don't even know sometimes what you have inside of yourself. But when you go through this process, the growth process, the journey, you find out things about yourself. And then, how do I say, like, you're scared of yourself. It sounds funny to say, but like, you're scared of yourself. You're scared of your own abilities. Almost a little bit what you were saying about arrogance. What can you say to people who are just scared of their own abilities, of their own authenticity? Like if I show people I'm XYZ, they won't like me, or maybe they'll reject me, or maybe I'll fall on my face and I'll flop and I'll fail.
First of all, it makes sense to feel that way. Whenever we're going to do anything bigger than we've ever done before, we're stretching. And I don't know that Hashem's there yet. I don't know that Hashem's going to catch me there. Like, I really feel like what's a comfort zone? It's a place where I know Hashem's there. I'm comfortable here. And then I'm like, oh, I want to grow, but like, is Hashem going to be there? And when we go for that first moment, it's really a leap of faith. Am I going to fall on my face? Am I going to embarrass myself? Maybe, but I might also find Hashem there. And then suddenly it becomes like a new area of confidence. And like I feel this way all the time. Like I sit with my clipboard and my Monday.com schedule in my beanbag chair, pretending to be a CEO for an international shalom bias organization. I'm like, what? Like, do I know what I'm doing? No. Like, I just care about other women and their marriages. And I know that Hashem is putting this will inside of me. And there's a deep pleasure here. And if I step out of the fear, there's so much pleasure. There's so much permission to play and explore and try new things and not being afraid to fail. And just I feel like when we're in that light of shluchus, of like Hashem sending me on a mission, it can drown out all those fears. But when I don't think I'm sent, right? When I don't know that something greater is calling me to do this, or I doubt that, and it doesn't need to mean that you're 100% sure of that. It could even just be like, maybe, even that's enough to go off of. But I'm willing to like trust that whisper, because usually our mission comes more of a whisper. And I'm able to trust also the pleasure of like, wow, this is actually like a beautiful experience beyond all the fear, the self-doubt, and lean into that. I feel like that's when our confidence comes. And I really feel like every adult I've ever met that's like doing something great, like we all just pretended, like everyone just pretended to know what they were doing for long enough until, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Hashem, I really like this idea of like, don't show up perfectly, like, show up powerfully, like, show up, like, Hashem's just asking us every single day to show up and say, Moda Ani, and be open to the adventure. And then here we are with like our 15-year plans and how today didn't fall into that. And, like today I was really sick and I had so much to do. And I was like, okay, Hashem, like I'm showing up today. It's this holy day of Yotes Slave. I'm going to learn some Chassidus. I'm going to daven. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to trust that like everything else is going to fall into place. I think that there's so much mental energy that goes into how we're going to do things and how everything's going to work out. And it's really like just burnout city versus
Yeah.
like we're in this divine flow. We've been invited into our lives. Hashem's inviting us into this beautiful life he has for us. And when we can tap into the kindness of that, we have Atzlacha B'Zman, things work out, things are simpler, easier, and it's Kislev. There's room for miracles.
100%, 100%. And speaking of fun kiss life stuff, I know that you prepared some fun Hasidus to share with us and some practical points about living Geula, which is perfect for the month of Kislev. And I invite you to please share your teachings with us.
Thank you so much. Okay, so celebrating Chassidus. So today is the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus. So what is Chassidus, first of all? It is the innermost dimension of the Torah. So just like we have 5 levels of our soul, our nefesh, our ruach, our neshama, our chaya, our yechida, with these 5 inner dimensions, we also have 5 dimensions of the Torah. Pshat, Remez, Drush, Sod, and Sod Sheva Sod, the secrets of the secrets. And that is Chassidus. And the idea of Chassidus is that it's connected to oil. So it makes sense that we're talking about in the month of oil, the month of Hanukkah. Because what does oil do? If it gets on your dress is done because it permeates all the way through. And so this is for the positive, of course, right? Oil permeates. It doesn't leave anything out. The goal of Chassidus to take the most godly, lofty concepts and to be able to soak through all of our being so none of us gets left out. Not even the parts of myself I don't like, not the parts of myself I pretend I don't have. Like all of us gets impermeated with this light, which is this oil. And the ability to really, so to take one concept, for example, of Enol Mavodo, there's nothing but God, which is a pretty abstract concept. But to actually, through the learnings of Chassidus and going deep within this and all these beautiful, books and books and books of like going into that concept where there's nothing but Hashem to the point that my heart feels calm because there's nothing but Hashem. To the point that I can calm my heart when it doesn't feel calm because there's nothing but Hashem. To the point that getting dressed in the morning can be something fun to do with Hashem. To the point that a disappointment could be like, okay, Hashem, like I'm willing to receive you here because I know there's nothing but you and that you're all good. So being able to really, these concepts are here to permeate. And so this Geula is very much about this full embodied experience. Geula is very much our lives, right? It's not some fairyland other world. It's our lives. But it's our lives with the full beauty of our relationship with Hashem totally revealed. Where the fact that there's only like us and Hashem and this love between us, like they're just Hashem, that's not going to be hidden in Geula. And really, we can tap into this now. So the Baba Rebbe teaches about this is that we've been on this mission, right, for thousands of years as a Jewish people to essentially elevate all the sparks, to bring the world to a place of completion, of bring holiness, like the little shtetls in Europe and the Jew who goes on their mission to Japan to make the whole world holy. And the way I like to think about it is like a wedding hall, right? So we've been preparing the wedding hall, and now it's time to realize, oh, we're the bride. We're not the wedding planner. We're not construction workers. We're the bride. Stop dealing with the drapes and the menu and put on your wedding dress because it's time to tap into the beauty of who you are. It's time to be at this wedding feast with Mashiach. And so all the delicacies, the treasures of redemption are here. And this is really connected to Chassidus and to what our avoda is now. Because what is Chassidus? It's a taste of Mashiach. It's a taste of the ultimate Shabbos. It's a taste of who we really are and our central relationship with God. So one of my favorite halachas you might be familiar with is that there's a halacha to taste the food of Shabbos before Shabbos comes in. And normally you think, okay, no, save the kugel for Shabbos. Like, just hold back a little bit. It's going to be Shabbos, like, chill out. But no, actually, you're supposed to get your taste buds ready, already savoring, not just yearning, but savoring the taste of Shabbos. And we know that Mashiach is the ultimate Shabbos. And so, how do we already get our taste buds, our physical experience, already like pulsing with Mashiach? So, learning Chassidus. That is the gift of this Erev Shabbos moment in time, right? In the cosmic clock of the 7,000 years of creation, right? The 7 days Shabbos. So we're here. We're going into Shabbos. You can take in Shabbos early, right?
Right?
So if you're ready, if you still want to run around and with your towel, and your hair wet and like try to dry your hair and try to get the cookies out of the oven and try like we can be in the chaos or we can be in Shabbos. Like it's a Erev Shabbos decision. But of course we all know, wait a second, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready for Shabbos. It's like, oh, okay, fine. So let's get ready. So let me realize, oh, the world's been prepared. I'm done trying to fix myself. I'm done trying to fix the world. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the bride. I'm going to start noticing the beauty of who I am. I'm going to start noticing the beauty of who my family members are. I'm going to notice the beauty of my husband's soul instead of trying to fix or control. I'm at the wedding. I'm done trying to fix the world. I'm now ready to actually be in this Shabbos mode of, oh, let me receive this. And so those are the words the Rebbe actually uses. Is the voda now is makabel panei Mashiach, is to receive this energy of Mashiach, receive this consciousness, to allow ourselves to go there. And someone could think maybe, okay, well, this sounds a little bit like like we were saying earlier, like on a mountaintop. But this is actually the kindest, most compassionate, most giving thing we could do for Am Yisrael and for the world. Because when we enter into this consciousness through the light of Chassidus, through learning Torah, through permeating our mind with these godly concepts and allowing it to affect us, what we're doing is we're creating a consciousness that now becomes accessible to the world. Like I talk to people all the time that are not being exposed to the concepts of Chassidus, and yet they know exactly what I'm talking about, and they all say it to me in their own words.
Right.
Like even a few months ago, I was supposed to be cooking for Shabbos, and I met these tourists, and they invited me to have a coffee with them and tell them more about Spot. And we ended up having this conversation about Mashiach for like an hour. It was amazing. It was an amazing Erev Shabbos. The yeshiva boys came and helped me cook. It all worked out.
Wow.
But it was just like, this is the language. This is the topic. This is what's in the air. And as we make ourselves knowledgeable in this topic, whenever we learn about something, that's what we're excited about. When we learn the Midrashim, when we learn the Rambam, when we learn the Sichas about this reality, suddenly that's what I see in the news. That's what I see in myself. And it really is the shift of receiving and the feminine. And like we see this so much, in relationships and how Hasidus really blesses our relationships of not being in this mode of I need to fix or I need to change or I need to control because those things just stopped working. Like it just doesn't it's not going to be effective anymore. And the reason it's not effective is because Hashem's so kind. He's like, no, I want something more for you. I'm now going to allow you to actually tap into the gifts and the beauty of who you're married to. I'm going to allow you to tap into the essence, like meaning the old modes. Thank God they expired because Gullus has expired. And now I'm like, okay, I need the gifts of Geula. I need the skills of Geula. I need this new way. And yes, we're learning a new dance, but really, and so much of what my passion is about is that it really can be with ease and with an effortlessness because Hashem's our chatan. He's our groom and he's training us to like be like, oh, I'm not a construction worker building a wedding hall. Like I'm the bride. I'm at my wedding with Hashem. And that switch is so powerful. At the same time, it can really, take support, these supports of Chassidus and the supports of other women who want to be in this consciousness because, yeah.
So, that's exactly what I was going to ask you, actually, because, I love it. Such a beautiful concept about, the time that we're in, the time that we're living in, being like right before Shabbos. We can take on Shabbos early. We don't have to live in the chaos anymore. We can live in the calm and the Kedusha and the holiness of Shabbos. And I love this. But I know, I'm bringing the reality in here. I know the people listening here. But do you know what I have going on in my life? Do you know my financial situation, my relationship situation, my kids' situation? Like, do you know what's going on? How could I not live in the chaos? How can I not deal with the bills that are coming, the phone calls that are coming? Like, how can I not? Like, just for a minute, bringing it into the 3D world and giving women the practical tools of dealing with like, but oh my God, don't you know how hard it is right now? How can I take on the beauty of Shabbos and not live in the chaos when I have so much going on?
So there's what's pouring out of me from like hearing you say that, which is so relatable in so many ways, and I hear so often, is that you're really okay. Like I think the biggest gift of everything we're talking about now is an essential permission that you're okay. Meaning, yes, take care of this thing. And yes, work on this thing. Like, yes, like show up to life. But with this energy of you're okay. Like we're not in this place of trying to prove something. We're not in this place of even needing things in the same way. Now, of course, everyone, can only speak to their own test. I can only speak for myself. But I just know when I'm trying to do, it hurts. Like really, like the feminine, okay, I need to be davening. Okay, now I can daven. It's not just another thing. Okay, I need to be self-care. Otherwise, it's just another thing on my list. Okay, gotta fill up my cup today. Like, I need to be like just the person who's opening that bill and looking at what's going on. Like I can't do anymore. Like, meaning there's because it's so hard the other way, it's almost like this permission. Just be like, oh, of course Hashem must have made an easier way. And not to like discount the test because it's every woman in her inner world, with Hashem. Of course, we can support each other. But I also just want to say that I feel like there's so much, like I can speak for myself, that I ask of myself that no one asked me to. And that was like a really, for me, a big theme in this book also, just like bringing that out of my own experiences of like, no one asked me to host that meal. No one asked me to make that extra Zoom. Like Hashem doesn't need that from me if I'm going to do it in a way of Geula. So if I'm going to do it in a way of stress and exile, save it. Been there, done that. I have to do it like if I'm going to do it, it has to be in a way that's calm, that's sweet, that's filled with presence, that I feel connected to Hashem. I can't function not feeling connected to Hashem anymore. It doesn't work. And these are so much of like the wins that I hear from women in Geula wives of just like I was gonna do the same thing that I always do, and I was like, I'm actually gonna do it in a way of Geula. And I know this sounds so simple, but it is. It's like I'm gonna do this connected to Hashem. And I'm just gonna experiment. I'm gonna go to the post office without an expectation of getting it in and out of there in 15 minutes. I'm gonna go on a date with Hashem and let's just see what happens. And like, yes, the line moved for me. Or yes, I met someone amazing in the post office. Or yes, I listened to that podcast and it was really fine that it took 25 minutes. Like, it's the Geula is characterized by this expansiveness and this breath. And it says we couldn't hear Mashiach, we couldn't hear Moshe Rabbeinu saying to us, Jews, it's time to leave Egypt because we're Katzir Ruach, we couldn't breathe. The tests were so intense, right? So we couldn't even hear that call of redemption by there was time to split the sea, it's time to get out of here because we were so stressed by exile. And something the Rebbe says is that we're in a better place now. Like we actually do have a unique capacity to hear the call of Geula. We do have this unique capacity, especially as women, to be like, okay, I'm being invited into a new world. That is my world, but more expansiveness and more calm and more of just that feeling of what is the light of Chassidus really coming to say? You're with Hashem always. So you are so okay. Like, and I have to say this to myself all the time. It's like, you're okay. And it's like the simplest, it's not just okay, like in the simplest, I like it because it's so simple, but it's like okay in the most magnificent sense of like, Hashem's in love with you no matter what you're going to do today. Okay, if you're going to express that essential love in Torah and mitzvahs, amazing. You're going to be able to experience it. If you're going to express that essential love, it's by fulfilling, your mission today, amazing. But even if you're just in bed, Hashem's obsessed with you. Like, it's okay. And from that place of being, I can do like whatever, like I can do life. But without that, personally, I can't.
I totally get that. I totally get that. And actually, something that we're going to do right now that's actually going to help us bring us into our bodies and into our consciousness, into this type of Geula consciousness, is a meditation because it's so beautiful the concepts that you shared, and thank you so much for sharing those ideas with us. But I know that there is such a powerful meditation in the book, and that would be so helpful to our listeners exactly on this topic that we're talking about. And I was wondering if maybe you could please guide us through this meditation now, so we can connect all the pieces of everything that we're talking about through this meditation.
Yeah, with pleasure. Okay. So I'm going to invite everyone to, if you're walking, walk. If you're able to sit and find yourself a quiet moment, it's just going to be a few minutes and let's go deep. So I'm going to invite everyone to think of something in your life that you want. And it even could feel like it's not just a want, it's a need. And to just choose one thing that's your desire, that's your fantasy, that's your want, and to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath and visualize that moment of being there. So, for example, if someone really wanted to be married, picture yourself at your chuppah in those beautiful gown, surrounded by everyone who loves you, with this guy who's so truly your soulmate. Like, be there. If it's a financial abundance, see yourself there. If it's a relationship, a relief in your relationship of connection and reunion, if it's a way that you feel about yourself, just picture yourself walking down the street with that confidence, like really try it on. Check yourself out. Like, how does your hair look? What are you wearing? Like, what is it like to be in that reality?
For me, I mean, I'm doing it now. It just feels, I feel elevated. I feel uplifted. I feel joyful. I feel hopeful. I feel like I can imagine the thing that I'm imagining. I can really, really full on imagine it. And it's so interesting because I can do kind of both things. I can watch myself like almost like on a movie screen, watching myself having this what I want, this thing that I want. And I could also imagine myself being the person in the image, and just having it. It's an interesting way to experience both, just watching it and being in it. But either way, it's exciting. It almost feels like, oh my gosh, this could really happen, or this is really happening right now. I just have to access it. It feels really hopeful.
Amazing. So, from this feeling of feeling how it's close and it's real, name for yourself what are the emotions or the sensations, the feeling that's present. Maybe it's hope, joy, worthiness, bliss, clarity. Really get clear in your own language. And going a level deeper, going into your body, going to the holies of holies, and just notice, wow, how does this feel? Maybe your shoulders drop 2 inches. Maybe your back finally relaxed. Maybe your stomach feels calm. Go into your body and just check in. How does it feel to be in this reality?
It's so funny for me personally. I feel like almost like that little girl jumping up and down kind of feeling.
Yeah, amazing. I love how you're able to access it. And from this moment, just realizing, okay, you just accessed it. And from the fact that I access it, it means it's here. If I believe it's there, it means it's here. Geula is now. I can agree to this reality. I can desire this reality. I can experience this. And just going a little bit deeper and asking yourself, what do you get to believe about yourself or about Hashem when you get to that moment? Meaning, maybe that's when I believe, oh, Hashem really does love me, or Hashem really does hear my prayers. Or maybe it's the moment I believe, yeah, I'm really worth it. Check in. What is the belief that is waiting for you when you reach that milestone?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely, wow. I'm worthy of having something that I really, really yearn for, that I really want. Hashem loves me, and He's giving me not only what I want, but He's giving me what I'm here. He's giving me my purpose. He's helping me to fulfill my mission and my task in this world, which encompasses, which is partially this thing that I want. I feel seen. I feel happy, I feel joyful, I feel purposeful, and I feel empowered. I don't know if that word has not come up yet, but I feel very empowered in having this thing that I really, really want in my life. I feel very connected also.
Amazing. So you have all these powerful lifting words and you have the jumping up and down little girl feeling, which is so playful and fun. And I want you to find how this is already true in your life now. Meaning, whatever you believe, this will give you. All of this goodness you just described, all this goodness that you're experiencing, find how it's already present in your life. Meaning, how you're already worthy of that goodness, or how you already experience that feeling of expansiveness or freedom or connection. And it could be the size of a pea, but just find 3 places, and there's a reason to do 3, but find 3 places in your life where it's already present to some degree.
Okay. Um, so for me, one of the predominant emotions is connection. So I actually those are two of those are easy. Like I have a connection with one specific family member that I'm thinking of, and I also have a deep connection with Hashem, which is very, very important to me. And let's see, the third place is a little bit harder. I would say the third place is a little bit more abstract, but it's hope. Like I don't feel so glum or so, you know, everything is hopeless. I just feel like a spark of hope. Like I have what to do in this world. I have my mission. Don't forget about your mission, Vera. Don't forget about your mission. Like I just feel worthy of pursuing my mission and my goals in life.
Wow. So I want you to notice how you just tapped into how Geula is here for you now and the closeness that instead of it feeling further, it actually feels kikar of alecha. It feels like at arm's reach, like it's so close and the energy of it is here. And so often what I found is that what I want is the energy. What I want is the permission. What I want is that feeling, that jumping up and down feeling, whatever that feeling is. And I want you to just check in. How do you feel about Hashem now? When you think about this desire. Because I know for me, when I want something and it feels far, I feel such resentment towards Hashem. And when I'm tapped into the light of how all the inner goodness, okay, the exteriors haven't happened, but all the inner goodness, it's here, it allows me to feel a deep gratitude and a connection and like we're on this journey. So just for yourself, it doesn't have to be my experience, just to check in, how do you feel towards Hashem when you think of this desire, you pray for this desire, what comes up?
I feel very connected to him. Like just almost like he's a real person and I could just see him and talk to him. I know that he's not, but like I just feel like a very deep closeness to him.
Wow, sounds like he's your best friend.
It's
Like he's
that's
right
how
there
it feels
with
like
you.
here. Yes.
So beautiful. Wow. So just taking one last moment, just a nice deep breath, and just knowing that all I did was ask you a few questions. Everything you tapped into, it's here. Your goal is here. The worthiness is here. And this is reaching your personal gula from a place of gula. This is going into Shabbos from Shabbos. It's greeting Mashiach like it's here. And instead of the wanting and the yearning and the one daying and the praying and the feeling victiming, like all of that, which can just feel like what other choice do I have? You just tapped into a different choice. You tapped into the choice of reaching that desire because yes, whatever it is that's in your heart, you should be blessed with it. Whatever it is that's in our hearts, Hashem wants every revealed good for us. We want Tovanir Venigla. We want revealed good. And
Yes.
Hashem wants
Amen.
it for us too. The point is I can reach that good from this inner goodness. And just, you can imagine that going at a goal, feeling empty, feeling depleted, feeling unworthy, I'm not going to last very long, especially if it's a long journey. This actually gives that stamina and that vitality of I can feel new. I can feel new in my desire. I can want all over again. I can almost have like a childlike a childlike wonder towards it and a connection with Hashem towards it versus I've been praying for this for a million years and what's going on? Like it's just
Right.
the contrast of it. So yeah, I'm so happy that you really tried it on. And if anyone wants a replay of it, you can replay it here. And I have like I think it's like a 7-minute version with music of just the meditation
Okay.
to really go in. So if anyone wants it, you can email me and I'm happy to send you the link for it.
Yes, and all of Hannah's contact information will be in the show notes, so you can easily access her email.
Awesome. I'm
Um,
excited to get these emails of meditation, please, because I know for me, this meditation was not something that I had to do once. It's something I need to do like weekly because,
right.
to tapping into that goal, it's like we're learning this new muscle movement, this new response to needs and desires.
100%. You have to practice this because this is something that can get just easily washed out in your day-to-day life. Like you do it and then forget about it literally 5 minutes later. So if you like the repetition is really, really helpful of this meditation. I think it's
Thanks.
amazing. So we're almost at the end of the conversation, but I want to ask you maybe if you could please share a story with us, a true story of someone who has applied these teachings that we've been talking about today to their life. Because I love hearing about how ancient Hasidic teachings are being applied today and seeing how this ancient wisdom really comes to life in our modern world.
Yeah. Well, so yes, I mean, first of all, I really feel like everyone's lives are the modern day Baal Shem Tov stories. Like we hear these amazing mystical tales of like Siddiqui walking through walls to like save another Jew, and I just feel like it's all around us. Like every Jewish woman that I know is tapping into her superpowers and like, each in their own capacity. But to go, what's that? Oh, sorry, it's just something flickered by. It's like a butterfly, no? Um, to really like one example that's coming to mind is the Frierdiker Rebbe. So this is the Rebbe's father-in-law, who's the sixth Lubavitcher Rebbe of the seven, and he was incarcerated by Soviet Russia prison, which basically means you're never leaving. And he
Right.
was incarcerated for Jewish crimes of opening mikvahs and underground yeshivas and basically keeping Yiddishkeit, keeping Judaism alive in a total illegal zone. So you'd think, like, in that situation, he would buckle to Gullus. He'd be like, okay, I'm in exile, I'm in their terms. But for the Friedegrab, it was very much real for him that the soul was never in Gullus. Okay, our bodies might experience it, and that's why, we're rewiring our nervous systems and all good things, but the soul's always free. And that was so alive for him to the point that like he would only speak Yiddish to the guards. Like the guards who were like threatening him and his life, like he'd only speak Yiddish because like that's his language, that's his holy language. And
Wow.
his cell, which was pitch black with rats and horrible things, if you read his memoirs, you can read these details.
Yeah.
That he was gave a Torah share every single day, like at a specific time to the other Jewish prisoners who were there. Like just this capacity of like I'm in Geula. Like you can't touch me. Like this, like unbreakable, unshakable.
Wow.
Ultimately happened is on Yud base on Gimel Tammuz, and then ultimately on Yud base Yud Gimel Tammuz is he was freed, and him and his family were able to leave to Europe, a different part of Europe, and then to America, and to go strengthen Jewish Jewry and continue to strengthen Russian Jewry, like continue on his mission full force from a place of total darkness. And for me, just like this embodiment of like, whoa, like talking about like the extreme, talking about that, but Gullus is pressing on me too hard. Sorry, like I can't. Even in that space, saying, okay, what's Geula? As I'm connected to Hashem, I'm connected to the pleasure of being a Jew. I'm connected to the light of my soul's mission. So that's always a really powerful one that comes to mind for me. And personally, I just feel constantly inspired, um, by the women in my life who are just really choosing. Like I think we spoke about this last time, the idea of the aleph, right? So Gullus, if you add an aleph, you get Geula. Gala plus aleph equals Geula. It's the same situation. But being able to say, I'm gonna see Hashem here. I'm gonna feel connected. I'm gonna be open to connection here. Who said I'm feeling connected? I'm open to connection. I'm desiring connection here. And, in my work of marriage coaching, like not to share anyone's life, but just the general of it, of being able to see a woman who would have every excuse to be like, I'm stuck in my stuff. This is my husband. He's not changing. And I tried ABCD. And that's not what she's saying. She's sitting here and she's saying, how can I see Hashem in this relationship? How can I see the good in the light of my husband's soul? How can I tap into my essence? Support me in my geula. Like I'm constantly blown away by this. Like this really is what inspires me. This idea of living geula, and I really feel like it's counting the wins. Like we call them
Right.
geula moments. Because it's
Yes.
not like, and then my life was perfect, and I skipped, danced into the sunset with Hashem. Like, yeah, hopefully once a day, that'd be great. But like, it's being able to capture those moments, and that's why we're always doing geula moments. We're always doing wins, and like if I go
Yes.
3 days without getting to share a win, I don't realize that I'm having these moments. It's
Right.
being able to actually share those and say, oh wow, there was an opportunity to do my old pattern of feeling like I had to defend myself or feeling like I had to stand up for myself in my relationship and actually being like, no, I'm in Geula, I'm with Hashem. I'm just gonna sit back and relax and like let miracles happen and let new realities. I'm gonna choose my trust in Hashem over the stickiness of this situation. Like just these moments, not to underplay them because like we are the Baal Shem Tov stories of today. And it says actually that Mashiach is go like that every single day. Mashiach like writes our life story, and Eliyahu Navi signs it. Like our lives are biblical. Your living Geula that you are doing is ushering in this ultimate redemption, and it's not just ushering it in. You're in that, and that itself is huge. Meaning, like I think everything we're talking about here is getting out of the waiting game.
Right.
All these cute stories, like all these cute songs, like we want Mashiach now, we don't want to wait. Like we
Yes.
have Mashiach now. We don't have to wait. Like we are allowed to open the treasure chest of Geula and try on all these new garments.
I
And
love it.
yeah.
I love it. I think it's so beautiful because it's such a different way of looking at life. Instead of being stuck in the moment, stuck of the in the like really the nitty-gritty of everything that we're going through the day, if you just switch your mindset, if you just switch your perspective and live in the Geula, like we said before, like you're taking on Shabbos early, if we're living in that mindset. I'm not saying that the tachlis of it, the day to day was going to change, but our approach to it will change, and we might get new clarity and new insights as to how to approach certain things. And that's the beauty of it. I mean, we still have to do the same things. Like, there's nobody's going to wave a magic wand, but just the mindset and the approach to it, that's where the transformation happens.
Amazing.
So thank
Wow,
you.
you really made my Yoteska slave. Thank you so much for this for bringing in. I really needed it.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
for
It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for joining us on America's Top Rabbins. And in the merit of this beautiful class, may Hashem watch over all the Jewish people and give enormous strength to all the IDF soldiers, including Eliezer Raphael Le ben Emuna, Levi Yitzhak ben Yedina Malka, Lidor ben Batsheva, and Lior ben Sima. Thank you so, so much again.
Oh, man, my pleasure. Thank you so much.